Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm talking about what karate guys can learn from jiu-jitsu guys. This is not a technique video per se. It's more about methodology of training, and also I wanted to show a point of view that's kind of unique to me. I'm actively an instructor in both worlds. What's kind of cool when I give an introduction to jiu-jitsu and I watch somebody's journey through learning how to move around, learning submissions and all this stuff, and all the mistakes that they make over and over again. This was really interesting to me because the same patterns happen over and over again. Regardless of the person's experience level, have they trained in something else before? Are they a martial artist? Are they athletic? Are they super fit? Are they overweight? Have they not moved around since high school football and now they're 40-year-olds trying it for the first time? Are they police officers? Are they in law enforcement? All these different variables. What's interesting is no matter what background you're from, no matter what experience level you're from, you go through the exact same progression in jiu-jitsu. And what I mean by that is you'll make the same white belt mistake that everybody else does. You'll start trying to watch tons of YouTube videos and accumulate tons of techniques like everyone does at blue belt. You start to feel the pressure at purple belt because you're about to be a brown belt. At brown belt, you start to kind of fine tune and shave away all those extra techniques and kind of hone in on the ones and make your game specific to you. At black belt, you're a lot more chill. Of course, these are generalizations, but at black belt, you're a lot more chill. You're kind of there to help other people out. Unless you're like a highly active competing black belt, most likely you're not watching this video anyways. But for most people, they got some injuries that are lingering, and they just want to see new students continue training, so they're not like a super jerk about it. And I say there's these consistencies across all students in jiu-jitsu because of one thing, and that's pressure testing. And it's pressure testing within the confines of the rules of Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And I say that because there is no doubt when something will work and not work. There is no what if, there is no like hypotheticals. White belts, you guys are crazy and you get to try whatever you want. I don't know how many times I had my fingers pulled from somebody trying to, defend a choke, or I've seen people get bit in class just because it's their first class, they're freaking out. It's that fight or flight. They don't realize it's just a game and they're just like there to fight for their lives, right? But those are common tropes in every single belt level of jiu-jitsu. Like I said, at blue belt, like you start understanding the game now, you start knowing how to move better, and then you're like, how do I start tapping people out? So then you do all this research and you pull from all these sources, books, YouTube, private lessons, different instructors, and you really just try to accumulate this wealth of submissions and stuff because you want to catch that person in class, right? You want to catch that person that trained with you in class. At purple belt level, you're super confident. You're probably at your physical peak at this time. Things are finally clicking for you, and all this stuff. And it all happens under pressure because you're actively rolling every single class. Multiple rounds, hard sparring, getting tapped, tapping people, sweating, getting tired, getting sore. And that's like the common denominator in all of this. Now, on the flip side, a karate class is so varied across all schools, across all styles, across the country, across the world, right? You can have a Shotokan competitive Olympic karate type of school that's just doing agility, footwork training all the time. They spar like rapid fire point sparring type of thing. You have another school that's just super into doing katas over and over in a group setting. And then you have like everything in between that's just like practical self-defense. You have the Kihon type of classes. You have the mixed classes of adults and students. You have majority students with one adult white belt. You have all these variety of classes, and what happens is the karate class, one, it caters to the sensei's preferences, and two, it caters to the weakest link in the dojo. So that means if you're in an adults class and a teenager is struggling to memorize a kata, most likely the entire class is now going to shift to working on that kata for the rest of the time. Most classes I've been into, there is a little bit of structure, but it's not like super predictable. You come in, you do your stretching, your Q-hones, you do your katas down the line, and then the sensei shows like 1 or 2 joint locks and you call it a day. If anyone wants to stay after class, they do so, and they get some sparring in possibly. That's not a dig on karate, that's just how it's been and how it's been taught. I mean, it kind of shows the quality of karate students over time. Like there's a reason why a jiu-jitsu person who's been training for 3 or 4 months can handle himself against most karate black belts, who have been training for 4+ years, right? So again, that goes into the whole karate for self-defense, jiu-jitsu for sport, blah blah. But you are pressure testing on a daily basis in one sport, in one style, and you aren't doing that in the other style. So going back to what I was saying, it's like there's so many variations of karate classes out there, and that creates a whole bunch of variations on karate students and skill levels out there, to the point where it's hard to look at someone's karate belt and have a gauge on their skill level and have a gauge on what they know, other than them belonging to a school and knowing the kata curriculum of that school, and therefore they're that rank. But generally speaking, across the board, around the world, you walk into a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school that you've never been to, you see a blue belt, you have a general understanding of what skill level that blue belt is, right? Again, this is a generalization. But there's an unspoken standard that's held up in the jiu-jitsu world for each belt level. It's super subjective, and yet it still works for some reason. You're never gonna find, I don't mean to speak in absolutes, of course these are generalizations again, but you're never gonna find a black belt in jiu-jitsu that cannot handle himself. Of course there are like people that get ranked for time on the mat and stuff like that, but if you're at a conventional school that is actively rolling, a black belt on the mat really means something. And I really do think it's about consistent, hard training. So if you imagine if we applied that to a karate school, consistent, hard training that creates a standardization of student levels, I think that's the key, right? Because like I said earlier, there's no room for hypotheses, there's no room for theory, there's no room for yeah, that was a nice kick, good job you didn't make contact because that would have been excessive, good job you didn't actually hit your opponent super hard. And of course, again, I understand in karate, like you can't full force throw a haymaker at someone's face every single class. Like no one would come back, everyone would have CTE, we'll all go to work with black eyes. But there's a reason why I gravitated towards the grappling aspect of karate, the tegumi, whatever you want to call it, because you can go full force with that. You can pressure test it every day. You can learn from it. And I've seen through all the students that I've trained this type of karate grappling, you see the same mistakes over and over again. And that's a good thing, because it allows instructors to fine-tune things, teach consistently, and also the students are learning on a progressive basis where they can tell that they are getting better. And that's one good thing too, right? It's hard to tell you're getting better if you're defined by your belt and the kata that you're learning just to rank up with your curriculum. Yes, you're ranking up in your belt level, but no, it's hard to tell that your skill level is actually going up. The only way to tell if your skill level is going up is if you put in the work. Man, that makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, my prompt for this vlog was like, why is there consistency in jiu-jitsu, guys, and why is there not in karate? And I think this plays a big role in it. What do you guys think? Leave a comment in the description. I'm a little congested today, you probably can hear that, but got this out. Peace. Train hard, fight easy.